Welcome back to Kansas City Chiefs Today. Today, we're diving into all things 2025 NFL Draft, breaking down the picks, the grades, and what each team brought to the table. If you're here for the best Chiefs analysis, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more exciting content. The 2025 NFL Draft is officially in the books, and it was quite a roller coaster. Across all 32 teams, we saw some stellar picks, some questionable decisions, and a lot of buzz surrounding trades and strategies. So, let's break it down by team, starting with some of the most interesting and controversial picks. First up, the Arizona Cardinals. I have to say, I wasn't thrilled with their first pick, Walter Nolan. There are concerns around his consistency, but the rest of their picks? Well, I actually like them a lot. Will Johnson was a solid choice, and I'm intrigued by Jordan Birch. Cody Simons? Maybe a bit early, but he's got potential. Overall, I'd give them a solid grade, even if their first pick wasn't my favorite. Next, let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons. Honestly, I love all 5 of their picks, but I have some questions. Did they really need 2 edge players and 2 safeties? Maybe not, but Jalen Walker has all the makings of a star. James Pierce shows upside, and Xavier Watts? Definitely a value pick. Overall, I'm conflicted but impressed with their depth. Moving on to the Baltimore Ravens, I'm giving them an A-. Malachi Starks is the epitome of what the Ravens do best: solid, high-value picks. Mike Green raised some questions due to character concerns, but the Ravens' track record makes me trust their decisions. Teddy Buchanan is a fun value pick, but taking a kicker? That's a bit of a head-scratcher. Still, they did well overall. As for the Buffalo Bills, I'm giving them a solid A. I wasn't crazy about the T.J. Sanders pick. It was a bit early. But after that, they really impressed me with Maxwell Harrison, a psycho corner with a killer attitude. Deion Walker is a huge gamble but could pay off big time. The Bills nailed it on day 3, especially with Dorian Strong and Caden Prather. The Carolina Panthers had some interesting picks. Tidar McMillan was a solid first-round choice, and while I wasn't a fan of doubling down on running backs, I can see why they did it. Lean Ransom and Mitchell Evans could emerge as key pieces in the future, but I'll be watching how they handle their tight end position. The Bears were a bit of a mixed bag for me. Luther Burton is a standout, but I wasn't thrilled about some of their later-round picks. AZ Trapio out of Boston College could emerge as a starter, but I think the Bears might have reached on a few picks. Still, they had some solid moments. The Bengals? Well, I don't get it. Shamar Stewart was a good pick, but taking 2 linebackers? That wasn't a need, and I'm surprised they didn't address the secondary. Dylan Fairchild might emerge as a starter, but overall, this draft class left me scratching my head. Now, the Cleveland Browns. They were all over the place in this draft. Trading down was the right move, but the 2 quarterbacks they took? That raised some eyebrows. Shatter at 94? Not sure about that one. But, hey, if it works out, they'll look like geniuses. For now, I give them a B. Finally, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. I absolutely loved their draft class this year. Josh Simmons at 32? Perfect fit. Omar Normanlott? Definitely worth the pick. Ashton Galati and Jalen Royals are great late-round finds. The Chiefs were fantastic this year, and these picks have me excited for the future. Next up, the Denver Broncos. This draft was a bit of a mixed bag for me. I really liked the Jade Barron pick. Such great value. R.J. Harvey is a fun one to watch, but Pat Bryant and Savon Jones? I felt like they could have waited longer for those picks. And honestly, taking a punter? Not my favorite move, but hey, that's a Denver problem. I really like the upside of Quay Robinson out of Alabama though. A solid developmental pick. All in all, I'm giving them a B-. Over to the Detroit Lions. I have a love-hate relationship with their draft. Some of their picks are solid. T. Williams as a defensive tackle is an awesome addition, and I think Tate Ratledge could prove to be a great guard for them. But Isaac Law? I don't get it, man. I wasn't thrilled with the pick, and some of their later-round decisions seemed a bit off. I like the value they got with Miles Frazier, but I'm just not convinced on the strategy here. Overall, it's a B for the Lions. The Green Bay Packers had some really intriguing picks. Matthew Golden. Great choice. You need someone to break down man coverage, and he's perfect for that role. I wasn't as sold on Anthony Belton in the second round, though. It seemed early. And Savon Williams, another gadget guy, felt redundant. But, hey, Matt LaFleur knows how to make these types of picks work. I think Golden could be huge for them. I'm giving them a B+. The Houston Texans had a steady draft, with some upside picks. Jalen Reed, a safety, was a solid value pick, and I think Jaden Smith could end up being a great addition to their secondary. However, I wasn't convinced by their picks for offensive line. They got some solid pieces, but overall it felt like they were playing it safe. They could have done more to address their offense, but I don't hate what they did. I'm giving them a solid B. Now, let's talk about the Indianapolis Colts. I think they had one of the best drafts this year. Tyler Warren in the first round? Perfect fit. JT Allo in the second round? Great value. They made some really strong picks for their offense, and I love the fit of DJ Giddens in the fifth round. Riley Leonard is a nice developmental piece at QB2. I really like what the Colts did here. I'm giving them an A for a solid, well-rounded draft. Let's move on to the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a team that's loaded with talent already, and they made some solid picks to strengthen their roster. Travis Hunter is an exciting pick, though I wonder how they'll utilize him as both a receiver and a defensive back. Caleb Bransaw felt like a reach considering their depth at cornerback, but he could be a good developmental piece. I'm interested to see how they integrate their new players into an already loaded roster. For now, I'm giving them a B+. And of course, we're saving the best for last, our very own Kansas City Chiefs. I honestly think this is one of the best draft classes in recent memory for the Chiefs. Josh Simmons at 32? Perfection. He's a fantastic pick, and with a little time, he'll become a major force on that offensive line. Omar Normanlot was a great pick as well. He's a great defensive presence. And I can't forget about Ashton Galati and Jalen Royals. These guys were drafted later, but I think they'll make an immediate impact. Chiefs fans, we should be excited for the future. Moving on to the Los Angeles Chargers. I think they had a solid draft overall, but nothing too flashy. Marion Hampton is going to be a stud, and I love Trey Harris as a late-round pick. But overall, their picks felt a little too safe for me. They didn't take any major risks, and I think they could have been more aggressive in addressing their needs. That said, they filled some important gaps, so I'm giving them a B. The Miami Dolphins. Honestly, I was a little underwhelmed by their draft. Kenneth Grant in the top 140 was a good pick, and I liked the double dip at running back. But I can't shake the feeling they missed some key opportunities. I really don't understand why they took another back when they have enough depth in that position. I'm giving them a C+. The Minnesota Vikings only had 5 picks, but they made them count. Donovan Jackson will be a starter at guard, and I think they got solid value with their second-round pick. Ty Felton could be a good developmental piece, and while their picks weren't flashy, they were smart. I think this will end up being a solid draft for the Vikings, despite their limited capital. I'm giving them a B. Moving on to the New England Patriots, I honestly had a hard time with this draft. I liked Will Campbell in round 1, and Kyle Williams was a great fit for them at 69. But I'm scratching my head over some of their other picks, especially the kicker and long snapper. Why? Just, why? Overall, I'm giving the Patriots a B-. That's a wrap for today's breakdown. What do you think? Which team had the best draft? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth coverage of the NFL and, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll see you next time.